What if I told you that becoming the best version of yourself doesn't happen all at once? There's no single moment where you suddenly wake up wiser, stronger, or happier. Instead, it happens quietly, in the way you think, the choices you make, the people you walk away from, and the peace you begin to protect. The truth is, growth is often invisible while it's happening. So if you've been wondering whether you're actually changing, here are 10 powerful signs that you're becoming the best version of yourself. Sign 1: You stop chasing everyone's approval. One of the biggest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop living for other people's approval. There was a time when every opinion mattered. You worried about what people would think. You changed yourself just to fit in. But slowly, something began to change. You realized that no matter how hard you try, you'll never make everyone happy. Someone will always judge you. Someone will always disagree with you. And that's okay. Instead of asking, "Do they like me?" you start asking, "Am I being true to myself?" That simple shift changes the way you live. You stop pretending. You stop people-pleasing. And you begin making choices that align with your own values. Real confidence doesn't come from everyone's approval. It comes from respecting yourself, even when not everyone agrees with you. Because becoming your best self isn't about being liked by everyone. It's about finally being comfortable with who you truly are. Sign 2: You accept what you can't control. One of the clearest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop fighting things you cannot change. You can't control the past. You can't control other people's opinions. And you can't control every outcome in life. Instead of wasting your energy asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What can I do about it?" If you can change it, you take action. If you can't, you choose to let it go. This doesn't mean you've given up. It means you've become wiser. You understand that peace comes from focusing on what is within your control, not from worrying about what isn't. The moment you stop trying to control everything, you stop carrying unnecessary stress. And that's when life begins to feel lighter. Because becoming your best self isn't about controlling every situation. It's about controlling how you respond to it. Sign 3: You become comfortable being alone. One of the strongest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop fearing being alone. There was a time when silence felt uncomfortable. You constantly needed people around you, or something to distract your mind. But now, being alone no longer feels like loneliness. It feels like peace. You begin enjoying quiet moments. You read. You reflect. You learn more about yourself. Instead of searching for happiness in other people, you start building it from within. Being alone gives you the space to heal, to understand your emotions, and to grow into the person you're meant to become. You realize that the relationship you have with yourself is the foundation for every other relationship in your life. Because becoming your best self doesn't mean isolating yourself from the world. It means being able to enjoy your own company without feeling empty. And when you're truly comfortable with yourself, you stop needing others to complete you. Sign 4: You learn from your mistakes instead of hiding them. One of the clearest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop being afraid of making mistakes. Instead of hiding them or blaming someone else, you choose to face them with honesty. You begin to understand that every mistake carries a lesson. Every failure teaches you something success never could. Rather than asking, "Why did this happen to me?" you start asking, "What can I learn from this?" That simple change in mindset transforms disappointment into growth. You stop seeing mistakes as proof that you're not good enough. You start seeing them as proof that you're learning. The people who grow the most aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who have the courage to admit their mistakes, learn from them, and keep moving forward. Because becoming your best self isn't about being perfect. It's about becoming wiser with every lesson life gives you. Sign 5: You stop comparing your life to others. One of the biggest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop comparing your journey to everyone else's. There was a time when someone else's success made you question your own. You looked at their achievements, their lifestyle, their happiness, and felt like you were falling behind. But then you realized something important. Everyone is living a different story. Everyone has different struggles, different timing, and a different path. Comparing your beginning to someone else's middle will only steal your joy. Instead of looking at what others have, you start focusing on how far you've come. You celebrate your own progress, even if it's small, because every step forward is still progress. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Because becoming your best self isn't about winning someone else's race. It's about staying committed to your own journey. Sign 6. You choose discipline over temporary comfort. One of the strongest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop choosing what's easy and start choosing what's right. There are days when you don't feel like exercising. You don't feel like studying. You don't feel like working toward your goals, but you do it anyway. Because you've realized that comfort feels good for a moment. But discipline changes your future. Every small habit, every early morning, and every difficult decision is quietly shaping the person you're becoming. You stop waiting for motivation to appear. Instead, you build routines that keep you moving, even on the days you don't feel inspired. That's what real growth looks like. Success isn't built in one big moment. It's built through the small choices you make every single day. Because becoming your best self isn't about doing what's comfortable. It's about doing what your future self will thank you for. Sign 7. You set healthy boundaries without feeling guilty. One of the clearest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop feeling guilty for protecting your peace. There was a time when you said yes to everything. You gave your time, your energy, and your attention to everyone else, even when you were completely exhausted. But now you've learned an important lesson. You can't pour from an empty cup. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary. So you begin saying no when something doesn't align with your values or drains your energy. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, and those who don't were often benefiting from the fact that you never had any. Setting healthy boundaries doesn't mean you love people less. It means you finally value yourself enough to protect your time, your energy, and your mental well-being. Because becoming your best self isn't about being available for everyone. It's about making sure you don't lose yourself while trying to keep everyone else happy. Sign 8. You respond instead of reacting. One of the strongest signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop letting your emotions make your decisions. There was a time when anger made you speak too quickly, stress made you panic, and disappointment made you give up. But now, you pause before you respond. You take a deep breath. You think before you speak. You understand that one moment of patience can prevent hours of regret. Instead of reacting emotionally, you choose your response wisely. Real strength isn't controlling other people. It's controlling yourself. Because once words leave your mouth, you can't take them back. The strongest people aren't the ones who react the fastest. They're the ones who stay calm enough to choose the right response. Because becoming your best self isn't about never feeling emotions. It's about making sure your emotions don't control your life. Sign 9. You find gratitude in small things. One of the most beautiful signs you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you stop waiting for a perfect life to feel grateful. There was a time when you believed happiness would come after a bigger house, more money, or greater success. But now, you've started noticing the little things. A peaceful morning, a kind smile, a warm cup of coffee, a conversation that makes you feel understood. These small moments become reminders that life is still full of beauty. Gratitude changes the way you see the world. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you begin appreciating what you already have. And somehow, your life starts feeling richer, even if nothing around you has changed. True happiness isn't found in having everything. It's found in recognizing the value of what you already have. Because becoming your best self isn't about chasing a perfect life. It's about finding joy in the ordinary moments that make life meaningful. Sign 10. You never stop growing. The greatest sign you're becoming the best version of yourself is that you never stop growing. You no longer believe you know everything. Instead, you stay curious. You keep learning. You keep improving. No matter how much you've achieved, every challenge becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes an opportunity. And every new experience helps shape a wiser, stronger version of you. You understand that growth isn't something you reach. It's something you choose every single day. The person you are today isn't the person you were a year ago. And that's because you refuse to stay the same. You embrace change instead of fearing it. The best version of yourself isn't a destination waiting somewhere in the future. It's someone you're becoming, through every lesson you learn, every habit you build, and every step you take forward. Because the people who grow the most in life are not the ones who are naturally gifted. They're the ones who never stop learning, never stop improving. and never stop believing they can become better than they were yesterday. Growth is quiet. The best version of yourself isn't someone you'll meet one day. It's someone you're creating. With every choice you make today, every time you choose kindness over anger, discipline over excuses, courage over fear, and growth over comfort, you're becoming someone stronger than you were yesterday. Remember, you don't need to become perfect. You only need to keep moving forward. Now I want to ask you, which of these 10 signs have you noticed in your own life? Share your answer in the comments. If this video inspired you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more psychology and self-improvement content. Because the most important person you'll ever become is the person you're becoming right now.